Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You're welcome to Model Pet Clothes, your teacher several kind of models wear. So you're welcome back to our channel. We are here to drop another video. So viewers, this is the style we are going to sew for ourselves today. Okay, it's a free gown, and our lesson will be focused more mainly on how to fix the neck, the cutting and the fixing of the neck. Okay, so this is what we are going to sew for ourselves. Is a shape, and I make use of 2 yards of fabric. It has a cutting at the bottom. Can you see the cutting? You see it by the two sides. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I did was to fold it into two equal parts. I gave it a pressing. Okay, so once there is electricity, you can decide to press yours. Then I folded it into two, after which I folded it into 4 equal parts. Don't forget there is a straight gown, very economical one, because I make use of two fabric to sew the other one that I showed you. So after folding it into four, the next thing to do is to start inserting the measurement. But please, before you do that, make sure that all the tools that you need for the tutorial are ready. Of course, you need your scissors. Of course, you need your tape rule, which is very, very important for to take the measurement. Of course, we are going to need a what do you call, stay collar that we're going to use for the neck. Is optional. If you like, you can use interfacing. You can use any other thing that will make the neck to stand. Then I'm going to use this for the neck. Okay, so I need this fabric. I'm making use of 2 yards of fabric. Then you need pin, optional. If you like, to pin it before you place it on the machine and sew. Then calculator, that one, if you are working with a measurement. I'm not using any measurement, because I'm using every part of the fabric, the whole of the fabric. That's what I'm using, just 2 yards of fabric. So it's not much. I'm using everything. I'm not inserting any measurements. It's for sale. So the person that it fits will definitely take it. So the first thing to do now, let's do it without much ado, in order to not to waste our time. We first of all take the shoulder measurements. I'm using everything of the fabric. This is 16. I'm using every part of it, so it will be there. So I'm using two and three, like this. I will first of all cut the back before cutting the front neck. Okay, the front will be V. So this is it. So three, you are going to measure 3 here for the back. Okay, just measure 3 by 3, after which you will now cut the front. Measure 3 by 3, after which you will now cut the front. Okay, the back will be square. Okay, now the shoulder, I've said I'm not cutting the armhole, I'm cutting it together. Okay, now I'm using every part of the fabric. The only thing I'm going to do is that at the edge of this place, at the head of the shoulder, I'm going to measure 1 inches down. Okay, I'll measure 1 inches down. 2 inches, like this. I will not slant it here. I will make it to go up here, like this. So I will not slant it to 2. Okay, our shoulder is not straight, it's slanted like this. Our shoulder is not straight like this, it's slanted like this. So to give your clothes shape, you have to slant it. Okay, from here you slant it, which I have done here. That is from the neck, you slant it down to the shoulder. 2 inches, 1 inches. That is the highest, should be 2 inches. But some people used to make use of 3 inches, which is okay for them. But for me, 1, 2 is okay. Now I'm going to measure the round sleeve measurement. I'm measuring 10 from that slanted shoulder where you shocked or where you marked. You are going to mention 10. Okay, I'm using 10 inches for the round sleeve. So that means 10 divided by 2, it will be 20. But because I folded my clothing to 4, and when you are measuring the round sleeve, you are using times 2, not 4. 2, 2, that will make it 4. So I'm folded this So I'm making use of 10 plus half inches of seam allowance, or let me put 1 inches of seam allowance. That means 11. So if you times it, it will be what? 22. Okay? Now, I've done that. The next thing to do is to mention the the box of the person. But don't forget that I'm not using any person box. I'm actually sewing it for sales, for sale. So I'm using any preferable box that I wish. Okay, but if it is a client that bought it for you, you have to take the person measurement. But let's assume I want to use 40 44 for the box. 44 for the box. So I'm going to place it 11. Okay, 11. You know, the 11 divided by 11 times 4 will give us 44. So this place that I mark, from here to this place that I mark 11 inches, I will now bring it inside like this. eh I will now place it at where I will now stop at the box that I mentioned 44. Yes, so this is where I'm going to stop. I've draw the line from this side inside. I will not stop here. Okay, I hope you are following me. Then from here, what I'm going to do, because it's a straight gown, I will just do like this. You can use your hand. If you like, you can use your tape pull, ruler, something like this. If you like, you can use your hand. If you like, you can use a ruler. You now draw it down. You now be slanting it. See it? Or to make it to for proper clarification, you can place your tape pull like this, then you slant it. Okay, you see the way I slanted my tape pull. You see the way I slanted it. So that is how you are going to slant it down to the preferable measurement. If you like, you can make it short. If you like, you can make it long. But mine is long one, and the short one is also moving. People are buying it too. So it's just a casual way. Okay, so the full length, I'm using 58 as the full length. So let me see from the neck to the bottom. Let me see the length of this fabric is actually 58. So that means I won't be able to use 58. I will use 57 or 56. So I'll just use 1 inches to fold inside. I'm using the whole fabric. Okay, this is for my own choice. So you measure it for at your choice. If you want to stop at 42, which is half length, if you want to stop at 3/4, like 50, the choice is yours. So having done that, I will have to draw it up and close the. You see, I'm using every part of the fabric. The fabric is very, very small. Okay, and don't forget, when I show you the picture, I let you to know that there is cutting at the side, so that when the person is walking, to be free for the person. Okay, the person will be able to walk with it. That is why I'm going to cut it, and I'm cutting it from that fifth down. I'm using like 10 to 15 inches for the cutting. 10 to 15, I mean, sorry, I said 10. 15 inches. 15 inches. Okay, I'm going to launch that 15, that part, so that the person someone will be able to walk freely. Okay, now let me cut it before I will now work on the neck. Let me do the cutting. I'm going to cut it so I will now work on the neck. Now, so I'm done with the cutting. So this is the outlook of it. You see the ham. I didn't cut the ham, I join it together. This is it. You see it. You see it. This is the outlook of it. This is the way it's going to look. So the next thing to work on now is the neck. Okay, so I've cut the back neck as if you want to cut a shirt neck. It's just 2 by 2 that I use for the neck. Okay, now I want to cut the front, which is V. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to remove the front neck. This place I've joined. Let me just is to remove the back neck. So I've separated the front. This is the back. Now this is the front. We want to work on the neck. The neck before is 3 by 2. So now, or if you like, you can make it 2 by 2. So now look at it. This is 3. Okay, this is 3. So 3 from this side. I'm going to measure 8. I want to make it V. If you like, you can mention 9 as well. But let me stop at 8. Okay, I can stop at 9. By the time I sew this one inside now, like 1 inches, it will fall back to like 8. So let me make it 8.5, okay? 8.5. I don't want it to be too deep because some people don't want their chest to be showing. So it's stereo. I will now make it like V. I will now cut. So I will now do what? I'll cut. When you cut it, this is how it will look. Okay? I've cut it like V. This is V. This is how it's going to look. So the next thing now is to now measure it and then, you know what? Cut the collar. What we are going to use for the neck. Okay? So now from here, this side, like this, is 9. After the sewing, it will fall back to 8.5. Like this, 9. 2 times 9, 18. Okay? 2 times 9, 18. Now this place, like this, like this, like this, like this. 18 plus 8, 18 plus 8 is going to give us 26. Plus 2 inches of seam allowance is going to give us 28. That means if I want to cut the collar, I have to cut 28. Or better still, when you have done with the cutting, you can decide to take it to the machine, join the two together for the purpose of easiness, so that you know look as what is this now. The calculation will not be difficult for you. You can just take it to the machine, you pin the front and the back together, make sure that the back and the front and front are facing each other. You place it here like this. This is the neck. You place it like this. Okay, you pin it with your pin, especially for beginners. You pin it like this. You pin it the neck. So you pin it, you sew. So I'm going to take it to the machine and sew. So I will now show us how it look before I will now do the calculation of the neck. That method will be better. So after doing the calculation of the neck, I will come back and pin the collar together. The what we want to use to collar, I will pin it on the neck so that for proper clarification, you are going to understand what I'm trying to say. Let me go to the machine and pin. So I've joined it on the machine. I've seen both. This is how it's going to look. Okay. This is how it's going to look. You see? So the next thing we are going to do now is to let me pin the neck on it. Okay. Let me pin the neck on it. So, but before that, we are going to mention the round neck. So this is what we are going to do. Don't forget that this tutorial is mainly on the neck. Okay, because you already know how to sew a gown. So this is it. You are going to start the measurement from this side. Look, the back, round, from here like this to this side. We have 8 inches. Then that means the back collar will be 8 inches. But we are cutting it together to this midpoint. This is 16. Then to this place, this is 24. Like what I said before, it's actually 24. But I want us to join it so that we'll not be confused. So it's 24. So that means the collar, to cut the round, the length of it will be 24. But that 24, we need seam allowance because we are going to close it at the front. So that means, let me measure 26. Okay, so this is the one I'm using at the neck. So let me see the length of it. Maybe it's up to that 26. So you measure it. It's actually up to 26. Okay. up to 26. So, and don't forget I'm going to insert what do you call it on the collar. I'm using a collar stay. Okay, so assuming there's electricity, I have to first of all place it on this glute and do the what do you call it press it. But because there is no light, so I'm just going to just put it like that, after which I'm going to on my gen and do it. Okay, so for the collar I measure 4 inches. I don't want it to be too big. So for body clothes is 8 inches, because the stay should be smaller than the the collar itself. Okay, it should be inside. Okay, look at it for the stay. Look at this for the stay. It's actually 3. I don't know, maybe you can see it's 3. But for 3 plus 3, that will give us 6. No, I fold it into 2. But for the collar itself, the clothes that I'm going to use as a collar, it is actually fold it into 2 equal parts. It's actually 4. Can you see it? So now let me place both together and let's pin. So for the pinning, I place both together. I later cut 30, after which I'm going to cut it. When I'm done with it, I'll cut the excess away. So it's always better for you to have excess clothing instead of in order to be on the safer side. So this is it. I place the seam, whatever, the collar stay on it. So I now do like this. And I folded it into 2 equal parts. Folded it into 2 equal parts. Okay. Then I use my pin to pin it like this. Use my pin to pin it together so that it will not remove. Okay. I did just after pinning. If there's iron, there's electricity, you can do what you can press so that the collar will the collar shot the what do you call it, collar stay will gum on the fabric. Okay, like this. This is it. Now let me place it on the neck. The neck is the work of the clothes, of the style. Now you put it like this. Start from here. This B, the one that is here. Let me show us. I'm going to start the pinning from this side. This is where I'm going to start. I will now pin it round to this side. Okay. Make sure you stretch it very well before you pin, to avoid losing it after sewing. When you find out that you did not place it very well. So that will be too work for you. We are done with the pinning of it. This is it. Can you see? This is how it's going to look. So what I'm going to do now is to go to the machine, seam it from here to this place. We are still going to leave this place. I will come back and I will show us what to do before we can put this thing inside. Okay, because it's actually going inside. It's actually going inside like this. Okay, so let me do the stitching before coming back to come and let us know what we are going to do next. Okay, let's stitch it. So now I haven't done with the stitching, so I'm going to the open space. Okay, This is it. I hope you can see it. This is the open space. Now I told you we are not going to close this place. So this place where there is V, in place that let me show you. This is it. You can see this place. So you are going to place your tape from here, from this place to this place is 3. Okay, so 2 is the V. Okay, 2 is the V. So from this 3, you are going to cut it down from up to down. Then from this one too, you are going to cut it from up to down. Before you now turn it. So now that is what you want to do. If you like, you can mark it. So from 1, you mark 1 is here. Then 3. You are going to mark it again. Then I'm going to use my scissors. I hope you can see what I want to do now. You are going to make sure the cloth is not on it. This collar is not on it. You are going to cut the cloth itself. You see it like this. Then you cut it. Little. Okay. Come to that 3. Cut it. Just little. Not more than half inches. Now, what we are going to do is to do what? Place it inside. Place this one too inside, and you pin. Make sure you pin there. At this junction, if there is a electricity, you can do what? You can press it. There is no light now, right now. So I'm going to do that later. I'm going to do that later. We are in Africa. No light. So you are going to place it inside. Then you use your pin to pin it. You put it like this. Like this. Then you pin it. Make sure that it's equal. Then you do what? You pin it. Pin it. After pinning. So let's take it to the. Let me take it to the machine so that you can understand what I'm saying. Let me take it to the machine, okay? Pinning it. Let me show us the other thing we are going to do. This is it. This is the back. Inner. Can you see? So I'm going to pin this one that I've pinned. I'm going to use another pin to pin here together. Okay? Before I will now sew it together. I'm going to show us when I'm done with the sewing. So you see, I pin it together. Okay? So this is the final look of the neck. This is what I did. Okay? After cutting it, the way I measure it 1 1 from the place that I did not sew finish to the end is 3. So the 2 will now serve as the V point. So 1 I cut a little bit, 2 then I leave it, then 3rd one I cut it a little bit, then I use pin to pin. I put it inside, cross it, then I use pin to pin this together. Remember I told you that I measure SS, so at this juncture I can cut it. So it's better for me than for the cloth not to be enough. After using pin to pin it, then I place my machine on it and sew. So after sewing it, this will be the outcome of it. Okay, if you want the V to come down, you can make it to come down. Okay, but some people don't want it to their this thing to show. So this is how it's going to be. So I'm going to go to the machine, do the stitching of this piece. Let me place it on the table so that you can see. From here, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to stitch from down that place. I'm going to stitch it, and I'm going to show us the final outlook of our clothes.